Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. That's the first time I can say that in at least a couple weeks, I guess. Anyway, here we are in Texas, the new shop. As you can probably see, it's not set up yet. And that is the task at hand for the next week or several days. My plan is to be up and running next week, start of next week. So we've been in the house now for I think 5 days, something like that, and just getting things taken care of as far as getting the family set up and furniture and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, that's what I've been doing, and we're to a point now, unpacked and set up to where I can now turn my attention to the shop and get that up and running as well. Get back to work, and I have to think about where I'm going to put stuff, how I'm going to be efficiently placing items and all that kind of stuff. So that's my task at hand. I have to put some more lights up. I need to move things around, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So let's get into it. Okay, so one of the mistakes that's easy to make in setting up a shop is spreading things out too far, and what that does is it makes you walk more instead of working, and it's really just not efficient. Plus, it just takes up space, and if you have limited space like most of us do, it's a problem. So what I have here is the forging press right here, and then literally, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet away I have my anvil. The reason I have it like that is because, let me show you what I'm going to do. There's something new here for this shop. So right out here is the garage door, the big door that opens, and right there is where the forge is going to be on a cart, so that when I want to use the forge, I can simply roll it out there and essentially extend my shop another 5-6 feet out the door. A couple reasons for that, probably pretty obvious. First of all, the heat's going to be going outside instead of into the shop, which particularly, especially here in Texas, is a big deal. Now, of course, another reason to have your forge outside or outside of the main area of the building is carbon monoxide buildup, which if you have your doors open and airflow through there, in my opinion, you know, a single burner forge, that's really not an issue. So for me, that's not the real big reason why I'm going to have it out here. It's the heat. That's a big issue. One of the drawbacks to having your forge outside, of course, is the lighting difference. And so that can be a relearning curve. Your metal, your steel doesn't look the same in the forge with the different lights. So it's just a matter of paying attention and sort of learning what it looks like again. Now, obviously, having the anvil inside, it's going to be a little more protected from the additional light, so it's not a huge deal overall, because when I get it to the anvil or the forging press, it's going to be under the roof. Alright, so one of the big things that I've said probably a couple times on video, I don't remember, most likely though, is that I wanted to get a dust collection system, and I still do. However, the setup that I have here being what it is, I am this close to framing in a grinding room in this corner of the shop for a couple reasons. First of all, even with the dust collection system, you know, you have dust to some degree or another, and having it completely contained, I think, would be a great thing, and then you could add a dust collection system to that as well. Okay guys, so I pulled this old workbench thing out of this corner here, and like I said, I was thinking about just framing that in and making a grinding room. Well, I just got off the computer about half an hour ago. I ordered a dust collection system from Harbor Freight. It's like $210. The shipping was super reasonable to my location. Their store is not too far away. Just got it shipped, so I didn't have to worry about it. and got to thinking, you know, let's try the dust collection system first. I've never had one, and I'm really excited because, man, the grinding dust issue is such a problem. So that being said, I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave the grinder over here by the big door, and just because I kind of like to work, you know, close to some open air a little bit, and you know, let's just try it, okay? One of the problems with the grinding room obviously is going to be it's going to get super hot in there, a little enclosed space. It would necessitate punching a hole in there in the side and putting an AC unit in or something, which of course is going to get clogged up with dust and all this kind of stuff. So let's try the dust collection system, see what that does for us. And you know, most of the time I'm going to have to, but also be able to have the door open and air flowing through here. I got my fan hooked up here, just one little fan. Get some breeze through here. That's just for starters, because it could get hot later. And we'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna leave the grinding table right about here, get things swept out, and of course the big table is gonna go more or less in the middle of the room again, so we can work from all four sides again, and do it that way. So let's keep cracking away. It's splitting my log up, man. That's not good. Bummer. It's just dried so much now that it's just coming apart. Alright guys, well I think I put a dent in it. We're not really close yet, but closer, so this just kind of gives you an idea of the layout. I've got my grinder here. I went ahead and moved the bandsaw over by the grinder because those are the two main things that the dust collection system, which is going to sit around here, are going to be hooked up to. Those are the main things. And then I left some nice space right here by the open door where I will be putting this post vise once I build a post for it. That's going to be movable, of course, and I'm going to plan to do most of my, you know, rough grinding with the angle grinders and stuff in that location, so that we're not holding dust back in the back of the building so much. Forging area, primary forging area here. Like I say, it's nice and tight, very close, and not too far from right where the forge is going to sit. The main working table, which I need to get some angle iron and stuff and put a better top support on that before I throw my still temporary plywood top onto it. So I got to work on that. Got to get a fireproof top on this cart, set the forge up, and everything is more or less in the area that it's going to be, I think. I'm sure there's going to be more shuffling around before we're all done with. Drill press, the buffing machine, and then additional grinder. I'll worry about those in a little while. I don't use those so much. The heat treat kiln, which is absolutely important, is going to go back in this area somewhere, I've decided. Sans grinding room. Maybe along this wall right here, I'm not sure. Probably in this area because I want to make sure that there's not a lot of draft If, you know, I can shut this door over here, kind of minimize the draft in the area when you're working with sensitive heat treating things. So I think building a workbench in this area somewhere, think about it a little bit more, is going to be the ticket. And then of course there's some more space. I don't want to fill that all up. I've got to do some wiring for the grinder, the welder, and the press. So still a ways out, but definitely taking shape, and I'm excited to get to work in this shop here, hopefully within the next week. And of course, I appreciate you guys being here. As always, your support with the channel here, and I'm glad to have you along on this new adventure, bladesmithing in Texas. We'll see you on the next video.